What's up, Kriks? In the previous episode, after 2 years of my last update, I finally connected the fuel line. I did my wiring loom for my trigger, but kinda not sleeve yet because I got distracted by the radiator and realized that my clearance for my radiator fan was not that good. And also not to forget the problem of my overflow tank nozzle, which was damaged because of shipping. Tested all the spark and injectors, all running well. Updated all the software for my dash and ECU, and primed the oil on my engine. And hope to start the engine because it was not running for 3 years. The last time it ran is when I was checking on the engine before purchasing it. And here's another episode of my progress, and let's go. So I installed the drive shaft, but only half of it because I still have to push the car and I didn't want any resistance from the LSD. So I just installed half of it. This time I did everything at night because it was cooler. It was really hot in the afternoon and you have no idea how blazing hot it is. So I took some time to configure everything on the ECU. Man, I'm telling you, it was so confusing because I was looking at something that I didn't understand because it was my first time. And I finished sleeving my second loom and ready to install it. But not just yet, because I have one more socket to go. Give some love to turbo like I always do. Alright, it is time to upload the map that I was setting last night. There's gonna be a lot of white smoke because I actually put some oil in the piston there. Never mind. Anyway, it's 10 AM in the morning. Good luck, neighbors. There's no exhaust. At this point, I was really ambitious because I was excited to start the engine. But later did I know that when I primed the fuel pump, I had an issue. Oh man, it seems like I have a leak at my fuel injectors. At first, I couldn't see where the leak was coming from, but I could see it was coming from the fuel rail. So I decided to take out the fuel rail and realized right at the return port where it was modified, it had a pinhole right at the wells. This wasn't done by me, but I was gonna attempt to fix it. So I get all my equipments and head to Victory Motorsport and use my mediocre welding skills to try to fix it. I mean, I could send this to someone else to fix it, but I just wanted to try by myself. One thing on welding aluminium, it's already hard, but welding a fuel rail is harder because petrol is such a thin substance, and with the smallest pinhole, it can escape from there. Managed to kind of fix back all the pinholes, but I hope it works. I wasn't really confident with that weld because it looks hideous and it was not trustable. But I just wanted to go for it and try it. While I was there, I just went to work on the radiator because I didn't want to make so many trips. For the radiator, I am more confident on converting the mouth to an AN fitting. So this one was quite fun. Right, I'm not gonna lie, but the welding wasn't that great and it was not that clean. I couldn't do a pressure check because I didn't have the equipment for it, so I just did like a very simple water leak check. Everything seemed to be okay, but when I sent it to the professional to fix the overflow tank nozzle, it proves that my aluminium welding is not that great yet, but I still wanted to give it a try because I needed to practice my aluminium welding. And as you can guess, if my aluminium welding is not that great, what happened to the fuel rail? That was a nightmare. And due to my stubbornness, I still wanted to fix it, so I restarted it again. I shaved off clean and tried to make a new weld. I was so determined to fix this, but it still leaks. I kept trying to patch the hole back, but at one point I was really frustrated. It is a very tough one to weld and it is horrible. It looks like shit. And I still went and tried for the 4th time and I finally hit the brick wall. I think I've became a pro in taking out the fuel rail and installing the fuel rail, because let me show you what I go through when I'm like uninstalling it, installing it back. It's really messy. Although it was not a wise choice to keep fixing the fuel rail, it was better if I were to buy a new one, but you know, you never try, you never know. Now that I already know, this fuel rail will have a memory and a lesson to learn, and it will symbolize my stubbornness. So, what is the lesson that we learn from this? No matter how bad your welding skill is, no matter how many people tells you that you can't do it and it's impossible to do it, and spending almost a week trying to fix this issue, all you have to do, okay? All you have to do is just give up and buy a new fuel rail. So I head to Kent Racing, which is located at Sunway. This is where I buy all my AM fittings, my ECU, my dash, and all the performance parts can be found at this shop. These guys are really good. They're really nice because they have supported me a lot and they actually helped me out a lot. So the least I can do is to give them a shout out. If you guys are looking for all this stuff, they have engine internals for JDMs, they have ECUs, they have fuel injectors, they have everything that you need to find. It's all in this shop. I was kind of blowing my budget, but it looks like I needed to buy this fuel rail. It was really easy to install because it had a third port for the return hose, so no modification is needed. There are just some minor stuff to do with the fuel rail because the injectors don't really fit into the hole. It's easily solved with just an adapter, and after that just some minor changes with the hoses and changes to the height of the fuel rail to match the injectors. The process took quite a while because I didn't want to overcut it, so I had to do bit by bit. Now that it's done, is the moment of truth to test it out. Looks like it's good. No leaks. I think it might be done. Fuel line set. I'm gonna test the ignition, test the injectors, try to fire her up. Super nervous. This is it, guys. This was the first time I was about to crank the engine. I was more than nervous. I cannot explain to you how did I feel, but I was excited at this moment. This might be it, guys. This might be the first time you'll be hearing the engine after the rebuild. I did one final check and test, and it was time to try to start it for the first time. Hey guys, before we go any further, can you help me hit the subscribe button, and it will support my channel a lot. Thank you so much. Also, make sure you check out my merch on Shopee. Make sure you come and support me and get the Kriks racing tee. And the first 30 person who orders the t-shirt will get a free Kriks car sticker. Also, don't forget, I'll be displaying Eva at Retro HAVOC on the 27th of May at the Curve. So make sure I'll see you guys there. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to probably sell merch over there. Also, follow my socials, my Instagram. Hopefully, I can reach 100k followers. Thank you guys, much appreciated. Let's continue the starting engine. Sorry for the short interruption, but here goes, guys. Let's do this. Here goes nothing. Almost. Did I flood it? Oh. At this point, I realized that I missed the first crank. I should have held the crank longer. Because of my huge injector, which is 1000cc, I probably flooded the spark plugs. So I needed to remove the spark plugs and clean it up. So after cleaning the spark plug, I install it back again and try it one more time. And again, I messed up. I flooded the plugs again. So again, I repeated the whole process. This time I was really confident, so I decided to bring down the car and push it out the roof so that it wouldn't be too loud. Alright, here goes again. This time, I was gonna hold the crank until it starts. At this point, I was freaking happy. I wanted to scream so bad, but I didn't want to be a weird neighbor. My heart is pounding. Finally, Kriks, after so many years, it's alive. And I'll see you in the next episode.